this is what you're going to have to do. So you got to get a zoning permit, and when you get the zoning permit, it's going to look kind of like this. Alright, this is what you're looking at. Department of Community Development and Planning. There's the address, there's the phone number. Department. It's not a new construction, it's a tenant fit-up. Alright, today's date. Block, lot. What the hell's the block and the lot? Okay, so you're going to go back into Google. You're going to do tax. Hey, if you do deeds search tax NJ, it's the first one. It says Monmouth, but don't worry about that. NJ tax search tax records. Oh, okay, so you get to this thing. Alright, so here's the current owners list. We're in the county of Camden, the township of Gloucester. Everything else stays the same. You're going to go to location, and you're going to put in the address. A&A Enterprises, 7 South Black Horse Pike, block 11701-3. Oh, did I mention that it's 2 properties? So let me go back to this thing. Okay, 5 South Black Horse Pike. This is the stage site. Joseph Riff, block 11701, lot 2. Here's your zoning permit. You gotta put that in. Alright, so you gotta put your name, the name and the address of the property owner, and the street address of the actual place. Type of work and or use. This is where you have to explain what you're going to be doing there for money. Provide the planning board zone of adjustment application approval number. What does that mean, you ask? Well, that's part of the tests. Okay, check this out. Architectural plans. I remember this. You actually have to get an architect to draw up the floor plan so they can see how many feet is it from this point to anyway. So the fire, so you got to get all these guys to come out and just make sure that everything is cool. Stuff happens, they'll tell you how many people you can have in there, and all right. So then, application review. Okay, so you got to get the building code inspector to say it's cool. You got to get the electrical inspector to say it's cool. A plumbing inspector and the fire code inspector. They'll send all these people out. When you put in the application, then all you have to do is just arrange for the dates. So let's say it's not approved. So they'll tell you, hey, this isn't good. And then you fix everything, and they send it back, and then it doesn't get approved. So then they tell you to fix stuff, and you're like, oh, but we don't have the money. Until one day you get the money, and then you can fix everything, and then you can go back and you submit the revisions, and you go back, and eventually everything gets approved. I hope. Then final review check. Is everything approved? No. Then you have to fix even more stuff, and then you send it back, and then you're like, all right, finally, are we good yet? And they're like, no. And then you go back and you do it again, and then you come back and you're like, okay, finally, it's good. So then they'll tell you how much the permit is going to cost. They let you know, and then you pay them money. So then you pay them the money. And construction permit. Okay, blah blah blah. Oh, right. There's 2 different. Yeah, so you just get you get all your stuff straight. Yeah. So then they come back. This is when you have everything set up to the way that you're going to operate the business with. This was if you're building a new place. You're not, although with the kind of money you might as well. Alright, so then you get this thing. This is the Certificate of Occupancy. It's the mercantile license. You got to have one of these to be able to run a business legally in any place. And yeah, soil conservation district. There's a lot of people. Everybody has got to get their hands in it. There's so much to do. If you want to do it, I can't believe how much stuff has to be done. It's all paperwork. You gotta. But to get these papers, these guys got to come through and they got to approve the stuff. The stuff has got to be. The paperwork requires a signature from one of the guys in their crew who may or may not have been elected. You got to get the money. You got to get the money, and then you got to clean the place up. Then you'll be ready to go. With the kind of money it's going to take, you might as well look for a new place, or just hope someone else do it. Or why don't you try having shows in your backyard or your basement?